Welcome back to another edition of the Zambia News Update, November 20th, 2019. We start off with the Zambia Chipolopolo soccer team played Zimbabwe yesterday. In that matchup, they lost 2-1 to Zimbabwe on Tuesday night, but the result led to a lot of talk on Twitter afterwards. The derby match between Zambia and Zimbabwe, affectionately called El Shedico, or the load shedding derby. So load shedding both in Zimbabwe and Zambia, both countries lacking a lot of power. So El Shedico was the derby match between Zambia and Zimbabwe. With Zambia losing that match, that's going to make it very difficult, and they've blown their chance to qualify for the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations tournament. All right, our next story is about the copper mines up in the northern part of Zambia, and there's a state asset grab, but it's because of a hazardous leak that has gone on. This story comes from the Business Maverick. In what seems a transparent asset grab by the state mining company Vedanta is locked in a legal battle with the Zambian government to regain control of its KCM copper and cobalt asset. Vedanta is now raising alarm bells after a sulphur leak hospitalized more than 270 people. Most of them were school children. So that occurred last week. 53 employees of Konkola Copper Mines, KCM, and 232 school children were hospitalized after an apparent electrical surge caused a sulfur dioxide emission from KCM's acid plant. So the government of Zambia is emboldened by public approval of the liquidation of Vedanta, as Vedanta is deeply unpopular with the people in Zambia. That's the political assessment from Sean Duthie. But Zambia's plan to take over Vedanta is one of the most blatant asset grabs in recent history. There was no public warning or fine, and it went right to the case of liquidation. This grows to the increasing difficulty for businesses to conduct their operations in Zambia, with lack of power being an issue, unforeseen consequences of if you cause distress to the local community, you could lose your business. And what I think is probably the most important part about Zambia right now is that the kwacha continues to depreciate against the dollar. It is all the way down to 14 kwacha to the dollar as of yesterday, and 15.6 euros, and then to the pound, 18.2 kwacha to 1 pound. It's tough for the country. The load shedding have to do with a part of it, also to do with the inability for some businesses to remain in the country. The general instability from the government can create this, and so the kwacha continues to depreciate. The cost of goods are going up, but the salaries are, again, not increasing. This next report from Zambian Watchdog: the economy worse than years preceding the MMD collapse. This is staunch PF Cotter Chanda John. For the past 2 weeks, I've been moving around in different places to find out how people feel about PF and the current leadership. To my surprise, among the ordinary Zambians that I visited, no one has anything nice to say about the PF. They are taking the brunt of how the economy and how the country is going head on. I remember in 2010 and 2011, the last 2 years that MMD in power, things were not this rough. The economy was stable, dollar was okay, mealie meal prices were at an okay level, at an okay price too. But as we speak, the dollar is at its worst. Mealie meal is selling for 150 kwacha for 125 kg bag, something which is more like punishment to Zambians because most people can't afford this abnormal price. It will be interesting to see in the elections in 2021 how it will shake out with UPND, HH, and the Patriotic Front if they decide to keep Edgar Lungu or if they want to put up something else for election. I think Edgar Lungu is probably the best bet for the PF to try to remain in control, but the way the economy is moving right now, he's on his way out the door, and I think they need to find some way to fix the economy in the nation if they want to have hope for a future PF leadership. But one thing we can all celebrate is that rains have returned to Zambia again. We can celebrate the fact that the rains will bring new life and new energy in the nation of Zambia. For those of y'all either in Zambia or abroad, hope you have a good day. Dizaunana.